guys, and welcome back to Garden of Kayland. Hey guys, and welcome back. If you're new here, welcome aboard, and be sure to subscribe if plants are your vibe. Now, I'm recording today from my home office, and that's not a coincidence because that is what I want to talk about today. My office is a bit of an exception. It's a home office, so I can kind of do whatever I want in here. But if you're someone who goes into the office, or if you have a home office too, here are some plants that look great and are easy to care for. So without further ado, here are Easy Houseplants Office Edition. A plant that's always going to be on my easy houseplant list is a pothos. However, I feel like every office has a pothos. Every home has the same pothos. It's copy and paste over and over. So if you want to spruce up the pothos a little bit, this is the neon pothos that I actually keep here in my office. I have it hanging, so that's why I'm holding this string up. I'm gonna go ahead and drop it now. I just didn't want you guys to be like, why is there a rope in it? So this is my neon pothos, and they grow so incredibly fast, for me at least. And mine, like many others, also has a little bit of sport variegation on it. So that just adds a few sprinkles on top of an already beautiful plant. I only water it when it has dried out completely, and it tells you when it needs to be watered anyway, because the leaves will start to droop a little bit. I don't actually let it get to that point anymore, but even if you do, you can go ahead and water it and the leaves will perk right back up. And there's also a variety of things you can do with this plant. Like I said, I have mine just hanging in here, but you can have them on a trellis. You can let them just kind of drop down off the side of your desk. I mean, they're gonna look good regardless. The only drawback that I can say about this one is they do need a little bit more of like that bright light. I think they'd be okay in fluorescent lighting, but in order to keep that neon, that bright neon color, they are gonna need a little bit more light, or else they might kind of dull out a little bit. So if you do have a window in your office, then this is definitely one to consider. I think that it looks so great. They're not hard to find, they're not expensive. I see them at like Lowe's and Home Depot all the time. And you can get a pretty small one if you want. You can get a larger one. Like I think I got this one when it was already pretty big. Plop it down on your desk and watch it do its thing. They really do grow to be so beautiful. This isn't the only pothos you can get if you want to shy away from your standard marble queen pothos. There's so many other varieties that you can look at of the pothos. I'll show a few on screen here. And I think all of them are gorgeous. This one just happens to be, in my opinion, the best one for an office space. If you need something that requires a little less light or a lot less light, like let's say you don't have a window and you just have fluorescent lighting, or even if you just want something a little more low-key, that is when I would recommend the ZZ plant. Mine is looking a little sad right now, y'all, so don't judge me. But it's in a really low light spot of my office, and it grows, but it grows very slowly. And that's another thing. If you want something that's not gonna get out of control too fast and you don't have to keep coming back trimming it or propping it up onto something, then I highly recommend the ZZ plant. And this one has different versions too. This is your standard green one, and you can get these from big box stores. But they also have the ZZ Raven, and that one has the same leaves, same growth pattern, but it just has really dark, almost black leaves. Then there is the ZZ Chameleon. That one is variegated, so it is going to need more light. But for the most part, the ZZ plant is definitely one to get if you don't want to fuss over it, if you don't have a lot of light, and if you don't want it growing too fast, because trust me, it's not gonna grow fast. The next one I had to come downstairs for because that's just where I keep most of these, but they would also do very well in an office environment, and that is the Philodendron. So this is the Philodendron Brazil, and this is one that I recommend if you want a philodendron and you want something climbing, but you also want it to have a little bit of life too. So what I love about that Philodendron Brazil is that it's really easy to care for, but it has some really awesome variegation to it. And so you can get that easy care plant, but still have like a lot of character to it. And these grow so beautifully and so quickly. I have them all over my house. I think I have one in like every room that I have plants in. Yesterday my mom was here and she commented on how I have like one of these in every room, and I really do have a bunch of them because they're so easy to care for and propagate. So this is one of the smaller ones that I have, and of course I have some in my office space. I have some on my stairs. I have some just above my head here in my kitchen kitchen area. So yeah, the Philodendron Brazil, easy to get. You can get it from a big box store. Water when completely dry. And this isn't the only philodendron that I would recommend for your office space that isn't just your standard run-of-the-mill philodendron. There's also the neon, and it's similar to the neon pothos that I showed you moments ago, but it has more of a heart shape. But I could see someone just having a little one sitting on their desk. They do grow very quickly, so they can get out of control, but nothing that you can't just snip and, you know, get under control very quickly. There is no video featuring easy plants without mentioning peace lily. But the idea is to have these easy plants that you're not seeing a million times already, but are still easy to care for. So you can still get a peace lily. It could just be a little bit different than your average peace lily. This one is the platinum mist, and I love this because it looks like there's platinum mist on it. So your peace lily is gonna get pretty big kind of fast. They also flower, so that's a plus. And because these can get really out of control very fast, I recommend starting with kind of a smaller one like the one I'm holding. But a peace lily is definitely something that I recommend for new plant parents, especially in an office environment. And they're supposed to purify the air. Now, I have personally never tested that method. I don't know. I have a lot of houseplants, so I assume that my air is already pretty purified. I mean, and it's really cute, even being so small. They're easy to care for. They are a little bit dramatic when it comes to watering, so they will droop over if they need water, but don't freak out. You can throw some water in there and they'll perk up. Do not like to be underwatered too often though, or the leaves will kind of start to get brown at the tips. So this is one you have to stay on top of just a little bit more, but I think it's well worth it if you're gonna have such a cute plant. And you can get these small, like I got this one pretty small. You can get them already really big. Most of the time when you see them in a big box store, they've already flowered or they already have a flower on them. So I always thought that was pretty cool. This one hasn't flowered yet, but I'm not really into peace lilies for the flowers. So in a nutshell, the foliage on a peace lily is perfect for a desk or even a floor plant. If you want one on the floor, you can get a bigger one. And I think they're just pretty gratifying to have. If you want something vibrant and colorful, then I highly recommend the Syngonium. This is one of my smaller ones, and it doesn't have too much color, at least not on the front. The back has red, but if you want something that really stands out with pops of color, then the Syngonium is the way to go. It's not only fast growing and easy to find, but also easy to care for, which is what I know you're looking for in an office plant. I mean, who wants to be at work fussing over plants, right? There are so many different versions of the Syngonium. They have green ones, pink ones, red ones, variegated ones. I have several of them myself, and they never let me down, albeit they are very thirsty. So don't forget to water them or the leaves will droop down. And if you do forget to water them, once you water them again, they will perk back up, kind of like the peace lily. Like I said, this is one of my smaller ones, but they get up to a good size in no time. If you're going on vacation or something like that, I do recommend taking this one home. The leaves will crisp up and you'll have to pluck off a bunch of dead leaves on it when you get back. But the Syngonium is so fun. It's so bright. It's so exciting to have. And they get so big and bushy. What's not to love about them? If you want something that's on the unusual side, then I highly recommend this Peperomia Hope. Peperomia in general, but the Peperomia Hope is by far my favorite one. I think that it's so cute, and even when it's really small like this one, it's definitely something to look at. My favorite thing about this Peperomia is I only have to water it when it is completely dry. In fact, if I water it before then, I get like yellow leaves and they fall off. So you can kind of set and forget this one, especially if it's a lower light situation, then you're not gonna have to water it as often. This Peperomia doesn't like to be fussed over, at least in my care. So it's not gonna be rocket science or a bunch of hard work. I just set this down, water it when it's really light, which it's really light right now, and that's it. Peperomias in general are a good plant to have in your office space. All of them are so unusual and different looking to me. And of course, easy to find and inexpensive. So if you decide you like peperomias, just go out, look for one that says Peperomia or that even looks unusual like this one, and go for it. A few people have been asking me what plants they can put in their office, so I just want to hop on here really quickly and show you guys a few of those. I hope I was helpful. I hope you will consider subscribing, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!